I mean, unless you want to start to me talking about my game, but I mean, still.
Why don't you put the game down?
I did.
I heard you missed
the
a
game
break.
is
I heard
down.
you missed a break last week because you were playing your game.
No, I didn't.
That's what I was told. Snitch told me.
Who?
YouTube. I can rewatch the show, JP.
I didn't miss a break.
Oh.
That's what he did. He told us we didn't have one.
Oh.
We actually really didn't. We didn't have any of the breaks. They used all of them really early in the show. So
JP was on top of us.
Well, anyway, Calvin and the gang is going to be at our old friends, Tom, Friendship Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram and Friendship Nissan today on
Thomason there.
190 Oak Street Extension up here in Forest City today. Hot dogs, chips, drinks, free golf, and more today. So good, you guys got to get up there and check them out. Deals up there in Forest City. Nice little ride up there, Tom. Nice little town too as well. Bunch of little places to eat. Don't know it till you really get up there.
Yeah. Especially Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic place to go.
Well, there's a fudge shop right next to the station up there. And then I had always we always had to stop by the ice cream shop when we was up there doing the Forest City games as well. So anyway, check them out today up in Forest City. Calvin and the game 11 to 3. I think that's right on KDC Broadcasting. WAGY. Let's see. So a couple of things. We will be so let's talk a little baseball. Tom, and Terry.
This isn't Little League anymore, right?
No, this is big league.
All right, good. Yeah. Well, the Indians fallen out of first place, I believe.
Yeah, should have known.
They were in briefly, and then everybody started talking about them, and then lost 2 in a row.
Well, first year, I mean, them in second place. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm looking for the Indians in the standings, and I'm not finding.
They're still tied. They're still tied for first at 36 and 30. They went on a pretty hot streak. Like I said, they lost their last 2. But there's a lot of optimism. They do a lot of the small things well. Their fielding percentage is very good. They very rarely strike out. They've got a lot of productive at bats. Their bullpen's been very good. They're doing a lot of the small things. But other than Ramirez, they really don't have a bat. I mean, they have a couple of the guys that aren't bad.
I'm gonna throw something out there.
I think it's going to catch up to them, not being able to hit.
Yeah, y'all went 7 and 3. We went 6 and 4, so we had the second best record over the last 10 in the Central Division.
Yeah, but you're 11 and a half games back.
I know we're 11 and a half, Tom. I figure us to be 25 before the year is over back. But they come out with a bracket this past week of how your teams are lined up to maybe be in the World Series, and we were number 20. I figured we'd be closer to the 25th through 30th place, but we were number 20, and I'm like, we are 26 and 43, and we were number 20. So there was 10 teams behind us.
Who did the math?
I know. I did. I said the same thing.
Math-wise, you're the fourth from worst.
That's what I'm saying. But they had us at number 20.
Reds, Nationals than you guys. So they snubbed the Cubs, Tigers, Pirates, Rockies, Diamondbacks, Orioles, and Mariners. Well, I meant to pull up a clip this week, but got a little busy on some stuff. But because I know Terry and Tom had a lot of little comments earlier in this year on the state of the Anaheim Angels, and I wanted to check in on where they're at right now. Tom, you want to tell me where they're at?
The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim
Terry
are in third
you had
place.
Some smart comments earlier this year about getting rid of
third place
a certain DH.
Yeah, they
in fact, he played first yesterday in Goldsmith DH.
They're not last.
They're not in first.
With
They're not in the playoffs.
They were dead last.
Not in the playoffs, but they ain't. Angels suck.
They should be better than what they are.
I want to give a heads up to Houston Astros, and this is bad because I'm going to Houston. They do have a great pitcher in Justin Verlander. He run his record to 9-3 with an ERA of 2.22. I don't know how old this guy can get, but my God, he's pretty darn good. Yeah. I mean, no matter what age he is, as long as he's not hurt and he's out there on the mound, you got a good chance on winning with him out there.
Not a lot of righties with ERAs like that.
That's what I'm saying. He is tough.
In the Terry and Tom, I just me being naive about this, forgot that they had amended the playoffs again, and now it's the old football format. So there's 3 wild card teams now. So when we look at these wild card teams, it's not just 2. So 6 teams now make the playoffs in the divisions, just like the old football format. So you got the 2 best records will get the byes, and then the 3rd division winner will get we'll get to host. So right now, Tom, they got you guys listed in first. You guys will be hosting. The Cleveland Guardians will be hosting. It looks like Boston in round one.
It's a long way from there.
Yeah.
Actually, you'd be hosting Minnesota because they have the worst record of the wild card team. So it'd be Guardians in Minnesota in round 1, playing either Houston or the Yankees.
It's not going to
in round 2.
Cleveland doesn't have enough hitting to win that division.
And plus, you're speaking of Boston,
Well,
give Boston a lot of credit. As bad as they started, they're like 17-3, 17-4 in June.
Tom, you
So,
guys have
still
the
12 back, though.
You have the 2nd most runs scored in the inning, and you have the best pitching in the division, and the best pitching in the division.
our bullpen's been really strong.
Hey, 303. That might not be good in the East, but you're only 13 runs behind the Twins in 72 games. That's not that
Well, look
much.
at it. If you look at what you're looking at, you could end. I know it's not there right now because Minnesota's got a couple more wins, but you could end up with the Yankees winning, Toronto, Boston, and Tampa Bay. Might be your next 3 as wild cards.
That is very true. Actually, it is right now because I didn't even look at Tampa Bay's
Well,
record,
Minnesota's
Terry, 'cause
got 39.
Well, but look at the percentage points. Tampa's 543, Minnesota's 542.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Tampa,
They'd be
you're
in.
right. The 4 teams in the East would be in the playoffs right now, along with the Cleveland Guardians and the Houston Astros. If I went back, Tom, to 19-year-old you in Panama City Beach, Florida, and said, in 22 years you'll be pulling for the Cleveland Guardians will be first, and four American League East teams will be in the playoffs as well, and the Houston Astros will be in the West. How drunk do you think you would have thought I was on the? Would you think I was be the ghost of Panama
Pretty
City or
much.
something?
Pretty much.
What is this guy talking about?
I just heard.
I don't know your dealer.
I just heard it was. The Supreme Court came down with a bunch of cases yesterday, and we all know about the Roe versus Wade, so I'm not going to talk about that one.
Are they going back to the Indians?
Yeah, there was a Native American who was tried. He was tried in one court, some sort of tribal court, and then was tried in another court for the same crime and got a much higher sentence. It was a double jeopardy case. Is that double jeopardy, blah, blah, blah. And then eventually they ruled it was not because it was 2 different sovereignties. But I can't remember the name of the court was like some kind of such and such Indian court. And I heard that. And they're still calling it an Indian court. So it's okay for the United States government to refer to something as an Indian court, but we can't call the Cleveland Indians the Cleveland Indians because that's offensive. So Terry, can you explain that? Why we still have a Bureau of Indian Affairs? We still have Indian courts.
Did you just
but
go
we
to Terry
can't-
for an explanation?
But we can't call
I plead
Cleveland
the
the
fifth.
Cleveland Indians. Can anybody explain that?
Can I plead the 5th?
I'll look it up, but I just heard that yesterday.
Tom, I tell you what, you being a public school teacher and a member of the working government, you should send a letter to someone in the government
Should.
and ask them. Say, I'm a civics teacher, and I'm trying to get clear on
I'm
this.
coach
and
of the year.
Exactly what
I mean, my
teacher of the
God,
year.
that's what I'm
coach of the
talking
year.
about.
I mean, I've got
Yeah.
a lot of accolades over here. I just can't be up here. I need to be clear with my students. So, I see.
It's just okay. Here it is. Whether a previous action in the Court of Indian Offenses of the Ute Mountain Ute Agency for criminal acts committed on the Ute Mountain Ute Reservation prevents the U.S. from bringing criminal charges against a defendant in a federal court for the same act. So the court is actually called Court of Indian Offenses.
Yes.
So in other words, if you are tried in that court and found guilty or innocent, could you also be tried in the federal court, which would also have jurisdiction? And that was, and the Supreme Court eventually said, yes, it's kind of like if you rob a bank, the federal government has jurisdiction, so does the state. It's not double jeopardy. The ruling of the case is really, it's significant. But I think it's in line with or their judicial practice. But why is this court still called, Terry, the Court of Indian Offenses?
Are they different people for that court?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be, do
Yeah.
they not?
Yeah.
That you're going to have to face?
Yeah, it would be different people in the federal court. Yeah, it would be two separate courts. So what I don't understand is why are we still using that term? Why haven't we renamed that? Why are we going after our sports teams, but the United States government still uses that term? So if anybody can explain that to me, then I'll stop calling them the Cleveland Indians. If anybody can explain that to me, I'm cool with it. So I'm waiting. I wait my responses.
Send our local congressman, Tom. I'm sure he'll get right on that.
But it's Virginia Fox that's going to get ready to change to Patrick McHenry because they redrew the districts again. But I mean, it just boggles my mind what people find offensive. And I saw their headline: Chicago Blackhawks hire new coach.
Yeah.
Wait a minute here. Why are they still allowed? I mean, either it's all or nothing on them. To me, it's either all or nothing. Either get rid of it all, fine. Get the Braves. Got to get the Braves, too. Got to get the Blackhawks. Got to get Florida State, Seminoles. Go ahead and take it all away. South Point Red Raiders. Let's take all that away. That's fine. But what I'm upset about is, okay, why are we the ones that are kind of, the media really jumped on us and singled us out and made us change our name and we're evil and all this stuff. So.
The best point, you're right, Tom, is the Bureau of Indian Affairs and all the other government ways.
It's a term that's been used for hundreds of
years.
Yes,
right. To acknowledge.
I mean,
yes,
it's just kind of dumb. Just
and there's arguments everywhere on all those sides. There's a lot of good arguments in the country going on right now. Is that?
I mean, I know there's more important. I'm not going to deny that. I'm just saying.
Over in the National League, speaking of the Braves, they've been pretty hot lately. 6-4 in the last 10, though. 5 games still behind the Mets.
Closing the gap.
Phillies are in third. They're above 500. Cardinals and Brewers now tied in a deadlock in first. That's probably just going to go like that the rest of the year. And looks like got better hitting and better scoring. Just can't finish the games on the wins apparently. And out west, 3 teams: Dodgers, Padres, and Giants are are over 500. So if the playoffs started today, Mets, Cardinals, and Dodgers would be your division winners. And then the Padres, Braves, and Brewers would be your wild card teams.
Now look at your last 10. Really, nobody's dominated this past week. You go to Dodgers 7-3, but 6-4s all the way down the board, and that's the second best. And there's a lot of 6-4s.
Yeah, you're right.
And the Pittsburgh Pirates now have a better record than the Cubs and the Reds.
The whole National League basically went 5-5 this week.
Yep,
that's what Terry was basically saying.
Pretty much, a lot of parity, except for the Dodgers.
That's what they want.
Well. In fact, you got 2 teams from each division in the National League that would be in the playoffs if they started today. Like I said, the American League would be all American League, 4 American League East teams: Guardians and Astros. Don't forget today, again, Customer Appreciation Day, Saturday, June 25th. That's today in Forest City. You go on up there and win lodging at Red Roof Inn, free T-shirts, DVD, movies, free food. People like food, don't they? Free golf. Well, you can win free food, and we'll be giving away free hot dogs as well.
Hey.
Free golf.
Could this be my day?
And more for you golf fans out there. Go up there and register to win. WAGY 107.5 FM, 1320 AM. You guys got any other baseball news and notes right now? Kind of during the middle of the season, it's kind of hard to touch on too much other than the.
No, the Indians will let me down. No, I mean, they do every year. So
they're in first place, Tom.
They're going to let me down. I know they will.
You're so pessimistic.
We'll see.
I tell you what, I just saw Dad down the hall. You and him can sit in a room and be so pessimistic about the Cardinals and Indians. We'll just lock you in there together while you are sitting in first place. Yeah, Debbie Downers over here.
Debbie Downers.
Terry, would you switch with either Tom or Calvin?
No.
Oh, you don't want to be a Cardinals or Guardian? You don't want to be a Guardians fan?
No, I'm against it. Because that's just like when Dallas was playing, Kevin. I mean, Calvin will get with me and he'll be like, well, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. And I'm like, come on, man.
He's pessimist.
We got to.
He's pessimist. Terry's the other end of Terry's like the Carolina Panthers fans of Dallas Cowboys.
Well,
fans.
that's what I just got through saying. They had us at number 20, so we still have a shot.
Oh God, I'm not sure about that at all. Any other news? Tawny had a big game this week, Terry. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, and he lost. That's right. That's right. Just finish it out. He had 8 RBIs or something like that in the game, but he lost.
Did he pitch in that game too?
I don't know, but you know who beat him, right?
Who?
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
So he did not do enough.
Wow.
Anything we can do with him?
No, there's nothing you can
Well,
do.
Cardinals choked the first place game chance last night, losing to the Cubs 3-0. Hendricks shut them out, gave them to 5 hits. So, all right, JP, we'll take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll talk NBA draft.
Yeah. Good job.
And more. I have no idea what we're about to say on this. There are some questionable moves around the league, to say the least, and we'll talk about that and more when we come back on ktcbroadcasting.com.
Keep cool this summer with one phone call to Shelby Heating and Air, your family-owned and operated heating and air company. And right now, ask for the exclusive Shelby Heating and Air Summer Special with discounts of up to $750 on quality heating and cooling systems. Again, up to $750 in discounts now. Cool cash savings is yours from Shelby Heating and Air, 1990 Eves Road in Shelby. Online at shelbyheating.com. See the page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Hit it out of the park with a gift from Arnold's Jewelry and Gift Gallery from their large selection of Citizen Echo Drive watches. Always popular and never needs a battery. Having a wedding anniversary soon? Choose an anniversary band in yellow or white gold. Or browse the gift gallery. They have something great for everyone, and gift wrapping is free. Arnold's Jewelry and Gift Gallery, 228 South Washington Street in Shelby. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30, Saturday, 9 to 3. Check them out on Facebook or call 704-487-4521.
Pepsi Beverage Company is currently hiring delivery drivers for the Cherryville location. Candidates must be 21 years or older and must have a Class A CDL. Every full-time position offers benefits. Starting rate is $22 an hour. That's right, $22 an hour. You can apply online at www.pepsicojobs.com. PepsiCo is an equal opportunity employer. Female, minority, disability, protected veteran, sexual orientation, gender identity. Pepsi Beverage Company, 152 Commerce Drive, Cherryville. Call for more info at 704-736-2640.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L-Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L-Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive on Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain. Jump on into Jumpin' Jed's in Boston for red-hot summertime deals. Now for a limited time, get a free colonial braided rug or a large candleberry candle with the purchase of any piece of furniture. And be sure to see the new one-of-a-kind solid maple table locally made. And take 25% off Americana decor. Check out the tasty Amish-made pie fillings. Buy one, get one free. Plus the new Billy Jacobs summer print is in. Plus the local original artwork by Moo and Art. So jump right on into savings at Jumpin' Jed's, Main Street, downtown Boston, right across from the old Stamey store, and like them on Facebook too.
It's the little old lady from Pasadena.
You can buy where the little old lady from Pasadena gets her cars, her fast cars, that is, from Iconic Motor Company of Shelby, where you always get an iconic deal. Good credit, no credit, bad credit, no problem. Iconic Motor Company of Shelby can help. You can get approved with the best financing available. Iconic Motor Company of Shelby, 325 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at iconicmotorcompanyofshelby.com.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin, Tom, and Terry. Terry's sucking down. Looks like Diet Mountain Dew. Looks like, and gotta wait for Kevin to hit the button so they can talk. There we go.
JP, if you were making the first pick in the NBA draft, who would have you picked?
You really expect me to answer?
Name one player, JP.
Have you ever heard of
James? I don't know.
Took LeBron. Okay.
LeBron.
That's the only one I know.
That's
You
all
took-
right.
he
He's
went
only
with
been
LeBron.
in there like 18, 19 years.
Well,
bro.
that's who he would have picked, Terry. Don't worry. You don't.
That's not who I would pick, but that's the only person I know.
Okay.
So
That'd have been a good pick, JP.
Well, the NBA draft was Thursday night, and where do you want to start? You want to start with what the rest of the draft, Hornets, or how it went? Hey, Paolo Banchero from Duke went number 1. Chet Holmgren, number 2. Jabari Smith, 3. Keegan Murray of Iowa, 4. Jaden Ivey, 5. Benedict Mathurin, 6. Shane Sharp, 7. Dyson Daniels, 8. Jeremy Sochin, 9. Johnny Davis, 10. Dang, 11. Jalen Williams, 12. Hornets took Jalen Duren, 13, then traded him, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Then the Cavs picked, how do they say it, though? Abaji, so the G silent. So Abaji from Kansas, and then the Hornets go Mark Williams at 15. Local kid Wendell Moore Jr. from Cox Mill was picked at 26. Adrian Delph, Appalachian State and Kings Mountain was not picked in the draft. Hopefully he'll be headed to the G League or somewhere equivalent of that. So he decided to go. He had an extra COVID year, Tom, is what he could have come back from. Okay. So he's actually a senior. He actually played. I thought, with that chance, that's a good opportunity, maybe even transfer Terry to a bigger school or something to get some better looks.
Can I ask you something about your G League?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. When you decide and you come out of high school or college or whatever, and you decide to go G League, do they have a draft that puts you in it?
I have no idea.
That you get picked by?
I'm not sure.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm wondering about that because it looks to me like if I was going to the G League and Boston picked me in the G League as their team, because you have all G League teams under different categories like baseball does. Looks to me like Boston would be the one who would have first choice. Either they wanted you or not, or they could trade you to somebody else and them take you out of the G League, because you can go into G League and whether you played like for a Boston affiliate, but you could be taken by Dallas or somebody. I wonder how that works.
I don't really know how it works.
I have no.
I guess you can sign guys as free agents and put them on your G League teams, right?
I don't know how that works.
I'm
just asking.
The way it is in the pros, like if you don't get drafted and you're a free agent, you sign with whoever you want.
I would assume that. So Tom, how about you go over your Cavs pick here for a minute, and then I'll.
Well, right now they've got like 11 players under contract, but they had a bunch of picks. I think they picked 4 guys. So I don't know. They said they needed a shooter, and that's what they got. That's why they drafted him. I remember watching this kid a little bit in the NCAA tournament, and most people are saying it's a good pick. It fulfills a need, but where's he going to fit in? I think they just extended Wade, one of their power forwards. They have 11 players under contract. So I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to make another trade or what they're going to do, but they got to figure this out. I guess it's a good problem to have. They have a lot of good players on the roster. Good problem to have when you got a lot of good players. So we'll see. But, surely this kid's going to play. I mean, you draft him number 1. If he's not going to play, you're going to trade him, right?
You should.
Now you would think.
6'6", 215, position rank 5, says overall 17. Post-draft analysis after 3 years in the NBA. Seller, the departure they're just taking shots at the Cavs right there. Has nothing to do with that kid.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 everybody else. God, geez. Abaji is one of the best shooters in the draft and projects as a plug-and-play 3-and-D prospect who can guard multiple positions with his length, strength, and experience of nearly 4,000 minutes of college basketball under his belt. The 22-year-old All-American and Final Four most outstanding player for national champion Kansas should be ready to contribute immediately after shooting 41% from 3 Mahoney is on defensively with a 6'10" wingspan. So that sounds like you got a pretty decent shooting guard there, Tom.
I just don't understand I don't understand that note. Continuing that outside shooting, because Sexton, I don't think he's going to play for the Cavs again. And then a potential return for Rubio. They traded Rubio.
Yeah.
Does
So
that guy don't know what he's talking
and
about?
you got Garland.
I don't really understand like potential return. I guess there's maybe trade talks to get him back, but like I said, when you have 11 players under contract, why are you making? I guess they have some decisions to make, and with this kid, whenever you can bring in a shooter, they just brought in Levert from Indiana, and I think he's going to play. I think he's under contract for one more year.
Well, according to the depth chart here, it's got Garland, Sexton, Okoro, Mobley, and Jared Allen in the starting lineup. Rondo, Levert, Stevens, Marketing, and Brown the next lineup. Then Ajobi on the third row with Kevin Love.
They got Kevin Love as a third stringer.
They've got Ajobi as 11th, basically 11th player on the roster, and Love as 12th. Yeah.
I don't know. They've got a lot. Like I said, they've got Love for another year. I believe we got Levert. Is Levert listed there?
I'm trying to pull it up right here.
It may be. They've done a lot.
There's the list for you.
So in other
On
words,
the screen in front of him.
Kevin Love is just in the NBA to get in his time so he can be retirement.
Getting rich, man.
Well, that's true. I understand every bit of that.
He's getting.
Oh my God, because I know he's getting paid a good bit of money.
Well, he could start at center for the Hornets.
He could. He could.
We could have traded a pick for that. All right, Terry. Let's go with before I rage on the Hornets' dumbness. Let's go back to the top of the draft. We talked about this a few weeks ago. We kind of thought, we kept seeing Holmgren up there, and just from what we've seen, I hadn't seen Smith plays, but just from seeing, in general, Paolo Banchero on the screen, he just stands out as an NBA body and player, and he ends up going number 1 to the Orlando Magic. So, what do you think about that draft pick? Would you have went with Banchero number 1, Terry? And
I would have. I mean, when you sent that out about this is what we thought. Yeah, that's the same thing I thought. I don't think there's anybody in there that was better than him for overall talent that can do anything, and that's who I'd have went with. Now, Chet Holmgren, if I'm going second, I would have took Jabari Smith. Jabari Smith's a very physical player. A guy to me is going to really succeed in the NBA because he plays that style of basketball. But Chet Holmgren, I don't know about him, but people compare him to the guy plays for Toronto. What's his name?
Siakam?
Yes. They was trying to compare him to Siakam. And I don't know whether that's a good fit or not. But
I agree with the Auburn coach. You see him rip him apart? Bruce
No,
Pearl?
I did not see that.
Bruce Pearl basically said, well, everybody who doesn't want to hurt Chet Holmgren's feelings was saying he was just astounded that someone would pick Holmgren over Jabari Smith, and he just kind of went in on that.
I was wondering about that because Jabari Smith's a very physical young man.
Well, listen, I'm a Bol Bol fan. I think he can play. And just watching those two play, Bol Bol does everything Chet Holmgren does, but better. He got him by 40 pounds, Terry. 40. Who would ever think Bol Bol has anybody by 40 pounds? It's 40 pounds. It's not even close. He jumps higher than him. He's taller than him. He shoots just as good as threes. He can dribble just like him. But he can't get out of the G League or can't get on the court, but we're going to put this kid number 2. That's just, again, we talked a little bit last week. Maybe 10th, but I don't know. 2? We'll see, but it's a good thing he's going to be hidden in Oklahoma City if he's a failure because they won't know. Is that not Adam Morrison over?
I don't know, man. You think of all the picks that Oklahoma City had. My God, every time they turned around, somebody's going to Oklahoma. I was like, my God, they'd having a whole team. They're going to pick 12 guys out of this draft.
They got Jalen Williams at 12 from Santa Clara, shooting guard, apparently. Let's see if there's another one, Terry. You said. And UCLA, Peyton. Well, they had 3 first-round picks.
Yeah.
Peyton Watson of UCLA. All right, let's talk about these idiots in Charlotte.
Yeah. Can I say something about this?
Go. Well, yeah, that's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for. All right. Here's my question, y'all, and y'all tell me whether I'm dumb or not dumb.
Yes.
All right. You take number 13. You pick him, Dren, and then you trade him.
Yes.
And then when I said, well, who'd we get for him? And y'all had to respell because I absolutely didn't quite understand what we were doing. But you got a 2025 from Milwaukee Bucks.
So that was the rumor.
To me,
that's not what it ended up. I've got the compensation.
Okay.
You'll see the compensation?
Yeah, I want to see it because I was wondering. That's about the dumbest thing I've ever heard because
Here
your
it is on your
pick
screen.
with Milwaukee is going to be less than a 13th.
Right.
You know.
Hornets compensation. Next year's Nuggets first round pick, Terry, which is going to be worse than what they just had.
Well, that's just what we just got through talking about.
2, 3, 4 second round picks. Now, Tom, if your number 13th pick isn't worth enough to pick at 13, what makes you think 4 second round picks are worth diddly squat?
Don't ask me to explain it.
They just traded Terry. Now I don't even know who they could have, would have, or should have picked. But again, you have a small market franchise, correct? Who's never, ever, 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 ever signed a big time free agent. Never going to happen. Nobody's going, I'm coming to Charlotte. That'd be a fun place to live. And then you've got 2 first round picks in the top 15. Whether or not they're not top 10,